everybody who says, oh my God, that scene. I'm like, what scene? Because that revelation scene was the least of my worries. My biggest worry was the dancing in the bar. So I'm like, that was a bigger revelation for me, not this one.
This episode is presented by Bodycoat. Give your car the Bodycoat treatment. They have a free valet service anywhere in Bangalore. They're completely paperless and app-based, eco-friendly with usage of water to a fraction. Check them out. Also, subscribe to our channel, tap that bell icon.
How can I describe this person? I've had the most honest conversations with her whenever I've met her. She's such a wander heart because she loves traveling. She loves scuba diving. And now she's an actor, a very, very celebrated actor. She's a storyteller. She's a host, and she's had such humble beginnings. And I'm so very happy that she's at a stage in her life where she has truly deserved every single moment that she's cherishing right now. The very talented Kubbra Sait. Welcome, Damacha. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Thank you so much. I was such a scripted, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh my God, like, let me sit and write down like academics, you know, to introduce someone. It was so personal. So thank you very much. And that is true. I endorse every word you said. And thank you so much. Thank you. It's also very humbling, I must say that.
No, Kubbra, you deserve all the love. Yeah. First of all, where are you joining us from right now? Where are you? Because I know you love traveling and you have been in different parts of the world of late. So where are you joining us from right now?
Well, I'm in Malta, and at the same time, I'm extremely blessed that, you know, during these really uncertain times, I'm still being able to get onto a plane and actually travel, because that is quite a far-fetched dream for most people right now. Like, everybody's like, at some point everybody takes a break, but this year has been so challenging, to say the least, and so uncertain that I don't think too many people have traveled much and are dying, like, in terms of the eagerness and the itch to travel. I think everybody's sitting on like, I hate you right now for being wherever the hell you are. Let's just show you where.
Oh my God, there it is. Ooh, look at that view. Look at that view. Malta. Oh my God. Such a nice part of Europe, and Kubbra is just bringing the envy, just like the way she has been on social media from the last few months. I'm just doing this. I'm just having food, Christmas. I'm just having the best stout that's out there in Ireland. But of course, so Kubbra has been busy shooting something that we can't be talking about. So
For now.
yeah, for now. So that's where you are. But you were in Ireland shooting for this project that we can't be talking about, and then COVID happened, and you came back to India, and then it was on hold for a bit, and then you went back.
Yeah. So literally, I get a call. It's an unassuming, like, just waking out of bed kind of a phone call, and literally the call says, "So, do you want to stay, or like in Ireland, or do you want to go back home?" Like, I don't know anybody in Ireland. Of course, I want to go back home, and they send me like two flight options on email. One says Thursday the 12th, the other one says Friday the 13th. I'm like, send me back now. Send me back today. So I literally, and at that point, I was supposed to be like staying in that hotel room for like, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months at that point. So I just like threw everything into my, into my suitcase, packed up everything. And I'm like, adios, Ireland, I'm leaving. Like, I'll come back whenever I'm supposed to come back. And then I reached home. Obviously, I was really worried about getting back home, but things were quite orderly when I got back, and literally like got in, like the thermometer thingy happened at the airport, and then just went, grabbed my bags. I was home in like 30 minutes, and I was like, wow, that's never happened. Like, this could probably happen even on other days, but no. And it happened like really quickly. So I was quite surprised. And then, yeah, I stayed at home for 6 months, like most people. But I used that time to shoot a show called Wakalat from Home, which is on Amazon.
Mm.
And then I started penning my thoughts. And hopefully next year we should, like, not next year, this year we should have a book out as well. So,
Ooh, wow, dude. I mean, that is something. You get a little bit of time, and you always make it a point to do some productive stuff. That's just how you're wired, and I see that that's how even Danny is wired. Like Danish,
ah,
give him some time, and he'll just do something creative out of it. It's just that.
no, I think it's just about me being peace at myself. And I think I'm most peaceful when I'm doing something. Like for me, having this chat with you, uh, there are two ways to look at it. Like, oh, but why do you need to do this? You can listen to the waves break outside your thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I'd love to have an interaction. I'd like to do more. I'd like to like be there. And it's I think just the way my brother and I are wired, as you said. And when we like it, I think. And that's like definitely a point of commonality between Sait and I.
Yeah, it's something to do with the Sait family, I feel. By the way, Sully likes this conversations. So Kubbra is the only person who calls me Sully all the time.
Did I not call you silly yet?
Oh yeah, shouldn't
Hi,
have brought
Sully.
it up. But yeah, Sully is liking this conversation. All right, Kubbra, let's go back in time. All right, let's go back to the time. I don't know how many of you know for a fact that Kubbra was with Microsoft in Dubai, and let's go further back in time. Bangalore girl, and raised by one of the toughest mother I know, Yasu Singh.
Wow. How do you know that? Who told you that?
So
Because nobody
I
talks
mean,
about that. Nobody talks about that lady anymore. Like everybody who knows her now is like, oh, she gives such great hugs and she makes great biryani, and you'll never feel lonely, even if you are like in a group of 100 people, because she'll like come up to you and she'll like talk to you and she'll make you feel really nice, and she'll have these little stories. She wasn't that person. So who told you about her?
no, I think, I mean, spending enough time with the States in general, I mean, the kind of hustle you guys have, I know for a fact that Yasu auntie has had such a tremendous role to play, but what was it like? Yeah, childhood was not easy, was it?
I don't think childhood is easy for anyone, because it's that moment of unlayering, right? We're trying to figure ourselves out and we don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Everything is almost going and betting on the next number on the roulette table, literally. Um, and I think, like most children, we had to do the same. Unfortunately, I think my life's casino just went through like loads of like power cuts. So it was like, huh, what? It was just too much mayhem. So like what I'm trying to like say is, I got bullied in school, didn't feel very accepted. College was similar as well. Like I always wanted to do something else, and I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I always felt like I belonged somewhere else. Like when I was in Jyotinivas, I felt like I don't belong to an all-girls college. I want to go to a co-education college. So I moved to Christ. I didn't find mass media as the subjects that I wanted to study. But I really wanted to be in Christ. So I said, doesn't matter, I'll take journalism, just to be in that college. But heart wasn't there. So I always was kind of stuck between, this is what I want to do, but that's not the opportunity I'm getting. So it was always me trying to find out what the hell I want, and always felt like I didn't fit in and felt left out, didn't really have friends. Like I'm actually, even today, I'm just envious when I hear it. I'm like just sitting like this really like excited child. I'm like, tell me about your stories. Like you have friends from school, you have friends from college. So nice. Because I don't. I started making friends for the first time in my life on my terms in Dubai. Because while I was living in Bangalore and mom was taking care of us, she had her set of parameters to have friends. So like you can't like I remember this story. I don't know if I've ever said this story before, but like there was this in 7th grade. I remember this girlfriend of mine. She gave me, you know, those teddy bear bags,
Yeah.
which are now commonly available. It was like a big deal with the backpack with the teddy bear on it.
Yeah.
So she
It's
gifted
furry
me
and
that.
it has ears popping out. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So this girlfriend of mine gifted it to me on my birthday. So I was damn excited. I brought it home, and it was my first ever birthday present I was getting from outside my house. And I brought it home, and I was so excited. And my mom said, "No, you have to return it. You shouldn't take anything from somebody if you can't return it to them. So you have to give it back." So she actually rode me back at that point to Aga Abbas Ali Road. And we went to Sonia's house, and I was tearing up. I was in tears because it was my first birthday gift. I had to return it back to her. So we came from that kind of upbringing where rules were rules and rules were meant to be followed. And she would always say, go do whatever you want when you have your own house. Go do whatever you want when, you know, that regular classic mother, तुम्हें आज नहीं पता चलेगा, जब तुम्हारे बच्चे होंगे तब तुम्हें पता चलेगा types. Like, you know, and I understand the kind of pressures that even she was bringing us up with, because God forbid, if something went wrong, there was nobody else to blame but her. And her parenting would come. So she had to be probably tougher than most parents so that we had a fear in us. And we always had a fear. Like my mom ages ago when we were like kids, right? But I mean kids, like really kids, like we still are kids to our parents. But she used to wear an anklet. And I'm not joking. Like you hear the anklet, you will like shiver. Your nervous system would like take a little bit of a rattling, like, oh my God, she's here, kind of a thing. And we were very scared of our mother. People weren't allowed freely into our houses. We weren't really, so there was no space to really make your own mistakes.
Yeah.
Everything is like, I'm telling you, this is not good for you. Okay, so then follow what's good for you. Let me show you what's good for you. Stick to that. So it was always a safer part. It was always the right path. So we kind of stuck to that. And I think it kind of helped because even when I broke away from home and I had to live by myself, there was this voice in your head.
Yeah.
And it was your mom's voice. And there was this thing of, hey, I can't fail her. I can't do anything to upset her. So it was always something that was running at the back of your head. And I think it worked in a way. Yeah. Now, you can't really go back in time and be like, agar aisa nahi hota, to kya hota? I mean, there are always permutations and combinations, but
so beautiful. I mean, the kind of hand holding to see the both of you where you are.
Sometimes it was also neck holding. It felt really suffocating.
But yeah, just you spoke about the house as well. Touchwood, both of you are doing so very well, and I'm so very proud of you because I have seen the growth happen over the years, right? And it is truly your popularity has skyrocketed beyond imagination, and that is because of the hustle, the upbringing, the hard work, everything put together, and you guys rightfully are where you deserve to be. And let's talk about that because I there are so many aspects to this conversation. I feel this is going to be of a lot of motivation and inspiring to plenty of you. You moved from Dubai and moving to Mumbai, trying to make it in showbiz. A lot of people think, okay, I mean, this is quite glamorous, but the hustle that you've had to put through, the grind that you've had to go through is truly incredible. And no one knows this except for you, yours truly, right?
I don't know if I looked at it as a struggle. I always thought I came from a level of solid, like, education. I realized that what was working in my favor was my upbringing. You know, you don't really realize what your values are until you start applying them to your daily life. Like why do I do this and why do I not do that? Like, why do I choose to meet a person in a certain way and not be carried away? My mom always used to say this. Oh, if someone says, so bizarre, right? Like, she would always say, we do not use the word beautiful in our house. So Kubbra is not beautiful. Like, it would be a beeped word. Because if you say that to Kubbra, then she's going to like have like, she's going to be light on her feet and she's going to fly away. So Kubbra, stay grounded, kind of a thing. And that always existed in our house. So there was a sense of reality, and there was always like a check. Yeah, and it was always like, you worked hard here, it paid off, very good. Next project, keep your head still on your shoulders, keep your feet firmly on the ground. It was always that. And you don't realize it until you start applying it. And it's a constant reminder, it's a constant check that nothing came to us for free. And yes, of course, there was a hustle. Yes, of course, there was hard work, etc., etc. But like today, you go onto Twitter and other social media platforms, everyone is like, I'm deleting Facebook. I'm deleting it from everywhere. But 10 years ago, it was a much, much simpler time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a single soul in Bombay. I had never lived in Bombay. I had visited Bombay once when I think it was still Bombay. I was hosting a drag meet with some of the lads from Bangalore. Look at me saying lads because I've been in Ireland for like 3 months now. And it's a constant like check, like, why did I say lads and not boys? But anyway, so like I was
working.
Yeah. And I was in Bombay / Mumbai at that point. I was hosting this drag meet, the only time I visited Bombay. But somehow I always wanted to live there. I don't know what was it about the city, but I felt I would do something bigger. And when I mean bigger, it was more like I'll do something where I feel belonged, like where I felt belonged. And somehow that always existed. I always wanted to be in Bombay. And when I moved in 2010, I didn't know a single soul. So every contact that I made was through Facebook. I actually DM'd people and said, hey, hi, I'm here. I'd like to come. I'd like an opportunity. I'd like to meet you. It was like hardcore marketing to say, I exist. I'm here. I can shorten the gap.
Yeah.
I can fit into the small opportunities that you can provide to me. And every time I got an opportunity, I was like, bring your A game on. Because there was no place that you could slack. Like, you couldn't take that opportunity for granted. It didn't come easy, so it'll go away just that easy. Yeah. Like, it'll go away much faster than you got it. So always had to be on your A game, always had to perform well, always had to do your thing. And funnily, I didn't realize it then, but probably looking back now, I'm like, yeah, there was a difference in the way I did my shows. It felt more human. It didn't feel rehearsed. It felt like I really enjoyed being there. So that joy translated to the audience. The audience went back to the event manager. The event manager felt, okay, we can give you one more chance. We can do this. And I think that's how that repertoire built. And then one thing led to another. And it's been 10 years, like, just like that. Like, flash in the pan.
Yeah, I mean, I know one thing's for sure. Like, I mean, when you have to be up on stage, when you have to perform in front of the camera, no one gets switched on like the way you do. I still remember.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
We all get switched on.
Yeah, but that like focus 100%. I still remember we were at a summit where you were going up on stage talking about spoken poetry, and you were just taking down notes on your phone. and just walking, pacing up and down here and there before you go up on stage. And once you go up on stage, phone inside, boom, that's it. Like, I mean, all my thoughts in there, so focused. And it's beautiful that you shared how you used Facebook. That was the big thing back then. And
and Facebook IDs were the big thing.
yeah.
Hey, do you have a BB pin? Do you have it's so obsolete right now, right?
Yeah, BlackBerry messengers. Oh God.
You remember that? Like, damn, I feel so old when I say shit like that.
Crazy.
I feel older when I speak about Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo classic. Always. It's like a rite to passage. But, lots of auditions, I'm sure. Some you got through, some you didn't get through.
Some I didn't get through most.
Yeah. So, little known fact, you didn't nail the Sacred Games audition the first time around. And here's another little known fact. Priyanshu Painuli, a guy was actually supposed to play the character of Cuckoo. Thankfully, they had the budget for a strap-on and prosthetics.
Oh, come on. They had budgets for their jadoo. They did. But like, I remember having this conversation. I didn't know what it was like before I got through, right? And I didn't know all of this was happening in the background. But somehow Anurag kind of believed that this role needed a certain sensitivity and a certain emotion that would come if a woman played it. Because I'm talking about 3 years ago, and even today, the representation of the LGBTQI community in our industry isn't as much. So who were we looking at? And this casting process was going on for months. I had no idea. But it all had a genesis in some living room where there was Ankur Tiwari, where there was Anurag Kashyap and a few others. And I get a call from Ankur and he says, there is this opportunity. I think you're going to do well. I want you to go and give your 100%. And he just put it there, like just in passing. He was like, nudity, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. I know you're going to pull it off. Okay, I'll pull it off. And I went for my first audition. Ooh, I bombed so bad. I know it. And I think it's true. Like every time you're on stage and you bomb it, you know. Every time you're in an audition room and you bomb it, you know. You don't need someone to like brush your shoulder and be like.
You know it. You know it when you
know it. You know it.
And then you come out, sometimes you don't even seek approval because you know it.
You just know it. You're like, you're not going to walk up to an event manager after you bomb the show and be like, was it 80% good? Was it like 50% good? No, you just keep quiet and you leave.
Yeah.
And I was pretty sure that I had bombed it so bad that I won't get a call back. And then there was this conversation that I was having, and I didn't know I was talking to Anurag Kashyap because I got a message saying, have you done any other work? And I'm like, I've done Going Viral, go see it, haha. And I took a lot of pride in that show for some reason, because it was the first time I was feeling, or I was made to feel I'm an actor. Like, oh, there is a graft to this and whatever. So it was the first time I was actually feeling that. Because for the longest time, acting for me was literally. And I didn't know acting is internal and not external.
And it's changed over the years as well. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit.
And he calls me and says, okay, I saw your work. Just go back again and I want you to do this again. The what? I'm getting a second chance. Cool. So this time I'm not going to blow it. Because very few people get a second chance. I'm going to nail it this time. I went in there. I don't know what switch I flipped, but it worked. There were sparks. There was the right energy. So I finished this test around 3 p.m. I got a call back and I felt good. And at 7:30, I was called back into the audition room. And I was asked to dance like Parveen Babi. I said, now I'm blowing it. This time, because I can't dance. I can't dance. Like, you ask me to dance and I have a concave stomach. I find it hard to breathe. I can't eat. The ears get hot. I start getting blind. Eyes get warm. Everything is just off. And I was like, oh, dance and all.
Danish the better dancer out of the two Saits.
Oh, I am definitely the better dancer. Danish rolls a spindle.
I know.
I'm bad. My brother is shit at dancing. Like, he's really bad.
I know it.
Yeah. No. And he like do this and all that stuff. And I am still like, yeah. Basically, both of us are terrible. But in comparison, I think no. He gets 0, he gets -1, I get 0.
Right. So
yeah, so that happened.
To do. Parveen Babi, go and do something.
Yeah. He saw it. Anurag called me and said, correct. Yeah, you're right. You're a shit dancer. Yeah. So we'll have to work hard. We'll work very hard. And then they arranged a studio for me the following day where I had to go and do a dance rehearsal. And I think it worked. The awkwardness worked in this particular case because I wasn't testing for, I don't know, the great dancer or like dance masti or whatever, right? Like it was just a character. So I think that awkwardness worked. And then I got a message from Anurag. All of this is happening in like a span of 3 to 4 days. And he sends me a text saying, yeah, I think if you can pull yourself up to like 60%, I'll take you the remaining 40%.
Remaining 40.
I'll take you. But then I had this another cheetah moment where I said, no, I'll come to 90%. You take 10%. You do the rest. And I worked very hard, like to learn how to dance and everything. And I really worked hard. And then literally like everybody who says, oh my God, that scene. I'm like, what scene? Because that revelation scene was the least of my worries. My biggest worry was the dancing in the bar. So I'm like, that was a bigger revelation for me, not this one.
Wow, dude. I mean, Kuku Ka Jadoo was the Binod. It was that.
Who is Binod? I have no idea.
Nobody knows. Kaun hai Binod?
I see it everywhere. I have no idea. And I'm like, okay, I'm practically living on a different planet. I don't know who Binod is or what Binod is. And I'm glad even you don't know. So that's good.
All right. If you were to pick one, OTT platforms, yeah, theatrical release. Makes no difference.
I don't know.
Theatrical release. You've seen both. You've been part of projects that have had big, massive releases, and OTT platforms where that anticipated wait, and of course, people get to enjoy it at home.
I think it's convenience. OTT platforms is convenience. I can watch it anywhere in the world through any screen and it can draw me into that universe. What I find fascinating about theatrical releases is community. You know, you walk in with a large group of people, known to you, not known to you, and it's sharing the same energy in that dark room. And I find that amazing.
It's like a virtual event comparison to a live event. That energy.
I can't do, I don't feel the same in a virtual event. Like, I know there are hacks in a virtual event. I can have a script, I can have this, I can have that. It's the same thing, like self-taping or going into an audition room with a certain discipline. I think there is lack of discipline when you're watching an OTT show on accessible devices because you know you can reach out to your phone. It's happening, you go step out, get a glass of water.
You're pausing it, you're going back.
Pause it, screaming mein problem hai, etc., etc. But there's a discipline when you go to a theater. you know, and literally the discipline starts with आज मुझे समोसा खाना है और मुझे popcorn खाना है, you know, and there is a sense of just community, and you walk out and either there is just joy amongst everybody who watched the film, or there is a moment of just like, wow, what did we just watch? And these emotions just get magnified when you're watching something in a theater. So I think for me, both are equally important, but there is a sense of experience that comes with watching something in the theater. Like, I was very, very lucky that Jawani Jane Man had a release in the theater. I think one of the last films that released in the theaters.
Correct.
Before it came on the OTT platform and the world came down to a grinding
halt. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. If you were to pick between, and this question, I'm so very looking forward to what you're going to say. If you were to pick between Salman Khan, with whom you worked on 2 mega projects and then some, or you were to pick between Shah Rukh Khan, who's made you cry, and you've hosted events for Shah Rukh Khan's birthday. You've worked with both of them closely, but if you were to pick one between the two,
I'll pick Ranveer Singh. No, because the thing is that, like, Salman has this beautiful enigma around him, and so does Shah Rukh actually. But like, I love how Salman will make you feel like a family member. Like you walk in and you won't be alone as a cast member. You won't be left alone in your vanity van to eat your lunch or your meals. And the food will come on the set, or everybody's invited to his docking area. So everybody goes, eats a meal, laughs, talks. And you are soon made to realize that you are either family or you're not. And that's just there. So you can easily tell, like, yeah, cool, like, this exists.
Right.
But because I haven't really worked with Shah Rukh, I've only known him through like stage events, and it's very like easily combustible. Like, you meet him, it's done, he leaves, you leave, it's done. But I think the 2 times when he actually made me cry, one was about a tweet that I had made, and this, actually no, the first time he made me cry was when he actually mentioned my name. He said, "Thank you, Kubbra." I was like, oh my God, Shah Rukh knows my name. That was like a pause moment, like a moment for me. And the other time was when I had made a tweet. He legit made me cry. But yeah, you learn how to use Twitter.
You want to talk about it? Do you want to tell us
No,
what?
I won't, because I think because you like today you talk about having your opinions on social media, but you also endorse kindness, and sometimes you don't have the kindness and somebody needs to point it out to you, because what may seem like to you would be somebody else's hard work, and you're in no place to sit on your phone and make judgments, and you don't realize that until someone points it out to you. And I'm glad that there was a moment where he pointed it out. So there's always a factor of change in you where you look at yourself much closely, and I think that happened.
Wow.
But I will pick Ranveer Singh because full crush.
And of course, like, I mean, just you share a very nice camaraderie with Ranveer as well, right from Gully Boy to you guys being part of the big wedding as well. You and Danish, and just having a good time. And overall,
Dan was so stoked because he was invited. As was I actually. I was like, what? This really happened? I'm invited to this wedding? I could have easily crashed that wedding though.
Coming to Danish though, if there's one thing that you look and go, oh wow, I mean, this is an amazing talent that he has. Danny, what are you in wow of? Because
I
he's
think,
like your brother. you've grown up, like, irrespective of what star power he has, you're my younger brother. Tu chup bet.
Actually, no, the first time he called me Kubbra on stage, I shat myself. I forgot lines. I'm like, that doesn't happen. I'm your Didi. And mom raised us like that. And I know he loves me, and the whole world knows I love him. There's no hiding it. But like in every close-knit family, you tend to have disagreements, and that's nothing different in our family. It's not any different in our family. We're doing the same thing. But what I'm in awe of him as a human being, first, he's such an emotional guy. He doesn't show it, but he's emotional. He's totally in tune with how he feels. Very rare, but he's there. And you can get through to him with kindness, with love. You can get through to him. He's a good human being, and I can tell you that. And there is no shying away from it at all. What I'm in awe of as a performer is the beautiful amalgamation he has of creativity and of business, which I don't have. I don't have a business angle to me at all. I'm still the person who's like, come here, we'll do it for exposure. I'll still do it for exposure. My brother has a business mind, which I'm in awe of and I am envious of. He's very good with what he does. And he has that beautiful balance, which I like to learn from afar. And that's riveting because he's done that constantly, which I don't have. He's very good at it.
He knows how much time to spend where, and he
knows.
Very
optimum utilization of time. He knows that's his currency, and I'm very proud of him. He knows that.
A lot of people may think that, hey, like, I mean, Kubbra, like when I speak to you, I feel like I'm talking to Danish, but it's the other way around. I feel Danish emulates you so much. Just the mannerisms, the way he talks.
I was born 5 years ahead of him.
He gets it from you. He gets it from you.
I think we get it from our mother. So
right.
Even mom is very animated. You've met her, and she's like, she'll try to tell you like long stories, and she's just that person. I think that just happens to us. We've just learned how to refine stories. But I think the core commonality between the three of us as a close-knit family is we've got our heart in the right place. And I think that's a blessing.
Yeah, and auntie is the sweetest, and I haven't met her after she got that chic haircut and all. I know.
Yeah, she went bald in Bombay.
Yeah.
She was with me, and on her birthday, I said, what do you want to do? She's like, I want to change. Okay, what do you want to change? She's like, I want to go bald. Are you sure? She's like, yeah. Do you want to do it today? I said. I was so excited. I was like, do you want to do it today? And my brother is like the safe guy, right? And I'm the crazy adventurous one.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, let's go today. So I made a call, took her to the salon, got her buzzed. And she was so happy. She felt like a newborn. And she's so happy. Like now she's complaining about how her hair is growing from the sides and stuff. But yeah, she was really happy. It was almost a restart button for her.
That's nice. That's nice. And trying out new things. Of course, like still being in touch with everything that the kids are doing. And of course, with all the blessings, reaching newer heights. Kubbra, 2021 is a special year. It's a very special year.
I think for everyone.
And September 2021 is something that we are all looking forward to as well. But what do you think 2021 is looking like for you? And when are you coming back to India?
It looks like I'm back sometime around April as of now. But then, things are so rapidly changing that you never know. and you're hoping for things to be different from 2020, because 2020 was a really testing time. Personally, I think I'm seeking love in 2021. Professionally, with the hard work that I've put in through 2020, the lockdown, and now being away from home, yeah, I really hope this project that I'm working on just catapults my craft to the next level. I really hope it does. And I hope I've been able to do justice to it. It's been an amazing experience, to say the least. Like, amazing experience so far. It's been humbling. It's been a year of growth. It's been a year of investment. So I remember having a chat with my mom, and she very beautifully said this. I think in the year 2020, you sowed the seeds. In 2021, you'll harvest it. So I hope it's good harvest. That's all.
It will. It will, for all the efforts that you're putting in. And I know the amount of hard work that's gone into it. We can't wait. We can't wait. It is going to be amazing. And I'm just excited just speaking about it, because from what little I hear about it, my God, this is like, I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this. It doesn't get...
I don't know who's been talking to you.